just waiting to get killed. The lights go out like there's a power outage, and then the fucking strobe light comes on in the arena, and these assholes walk out the fucking Iron Man.
With shoulder pads and spikes and shit on them. It was fucking crazy.
Bro, when you're 12, I never heard Iron Man before.
Right.
I never heard Sabbath.
Blow your mind.
I am, R is he. And I was like, this is the greatest shit that's ever happened. I got goosebumps. I remember at 12. It's like when you go see that great band or that great play.
Well, that's what they were like, the Kiss of wrestling. Like, they figured it out. The makeup, the theatrics. One had a mohawk. I think, didn't the other one have a reverse mohawk?
Yeah.
They
Animal
figured it
had
out,
mohawk,
man.
And Hawk had the reverse
reverse
mohawk.
one, yeah.
I might have it backwards, but it's 50-50 that I took a shot.
They were bad. They really were badass, man.
You wrestled for real?
Yeah, high school.
How many? All 4 years?
2 years.
Why'd you start? Freshman and sophomore year?
No, I played basketball my freshman year, but the coach was a dick. So my sophomore year I wrestled, and my junior year I wrestled, and then I fucked up my back, so I didn't wrestle my senior year because I was like, fuck this. I'm not going to kill myself for
and
high
you
school
discovered
wrestling.
girls and pot. That's usually how it goes.
I was late on the weed, but the women, yes. Girls.
When was the first time you smoked pot?
The first time I ever even tried it, I was 18.
I was 19.
Yeah, I went late on it. And then 21 is when I really was like, yeah, I'm going to smoke some weed.
Yeah.
That's when
It seems the same for me. But aren't you... I hear about kids like, and then at 14, I was doing blow, and I'm like, what kind of house did you live in? What kind of people are these, Henry?
We got fucking Dundalk dudes in Maryland. That's like the Jersey
Dunbar?
of Maryland. Dundalk. No, not Dunbar.
Dunbar is like where Muggsy Bogues went to high school.
That's
a criminal school.
That's a criminal school.
That's the wire.
City and Dunbar, the two high schools. City and Poly and Dunbar, they have shootouts and shit sometimes. It gets crazy down there for that kid. But
crazy.
Dundalk... these
nipples?
kids are like, you fucking, they were telling me they were smoking weed in middle school. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
D-A-U-K or D-O-C-K?
D-U-N-D-A-L-K.
Oh, Dundalk.
Dundalk, yep.
Maryland's got
They say Dundalk. That's how the people there say it.
Pop,
Dundalk. I told Segura about it, and
That's
he was,
where I'm from.
when we went, where are you from, man?
Dundalk.
That is definitely not said there.
Oh, no? I take it back.
That's a white, no.
Well, I guess we'll fix it in
And I
post.
told Segura about Dundalk all these years. When we did Baltimore together, he got up on stage and was fucking around with Dundalk, and there was a guy in the audience like, the fuck you know about Dundalk? Was getting all mad, and Segura was dropping shit on him that I had told him. He's like, all right, I own a business there, all right.
Tommy's one of those guys you can drop in any situation and go, hey, I'm going to the bank. I need you to tell everybody you're an off-duty police officer. And just walk up the street. All right.
No problem.
Hey, man. Just want to let you know I'm an off-duty police officer. They'll be like, okay.
T-Nuts is down.
He's down for whatever.
Always. You wrestled all 4 years in high school?
I wrestled young, early.
You got in like the junior...
I had a guidance counselor that probably saved me from a life of addiction. A full-time life of addiction. I'm saying they wanted to put me on Ritalin and shit because I was so bananas. And then he said, no, get him to wrestle with the high school kids.
How old are you at this point? What are we talking?
7th grade.
7th grade.
So like 89 pounds. And he goes, he won't have energy to talk in class. And he was right. And they had to sign like a waiver, like an insurance waiver to get me to go wrestle because I was 12. And I went up and they didn't like throw me around, but they, I had to like run with them and stuff. And then freshman year, 105, sophomore year, 129, 135, and 135. I won 2 tournaments my senior year. I was captain. I won 2 tournaments, and both of the tournaments I won, it's because I didn't make weight, because I just didn't care. I was like 140, like not even close. Like if you have to be 140, or if you have to be 135, if you come in at like 136 the morning of, you could drop that pretty quick.
Yeah.
But I was like 139.
Yeah, you ain't dropping.
And I don't know why. Like thinking back, I'm like, I mean, I could have easily dropped it if I just took it more seriously. And going back to pot, if I smoked pot in high school, I think I would have went to like, maybe not states, but I would have been way up in counties and shit.
I agree. I really feel like if I smoked weed in high school, I would have probably been a better student, a better athlete. I really do believe that.
It just becomes your trip of, I'm going to, because I remember playing hardball in a league when I first moved out here. I would smoke grass and sit in the outfield and make believe that scouts were there to see me for the majors, and I went full out. I just get into it, man.
I zoned, but I would never think scouts were there to see me.
But that's
for
it,
the
and I wanted every ball hit to me.
You from the Cubs? Keep an eye on me, man.
No Cubs. Fuck that.
Y'all ain't won a World Series in a long time, man.
Yeah. Made me take away them lights. No one on the Cub got good nipples.
The first time I ever wrestled competitively was middle school. In middle school, we actually, for part of gym, they would separate boys and girls, and we would go wrestle and stuff. So they put on.
That to me seems like the gayest thing, and I mean homosexual gay. That a coach would lay down mats and go, "All right, guys, check it out," because you only have like 40 minutes after everybody's changed. Like, what are you going to teach? And there's like 30 of you.
Yeah, and we had 2 teachers, and we had like a little auxiliary room, and it was covered with those. It weren't even real wrestling mats; those like red foam shit that we just laid down.
Gymnast mats.
So then they're like, "All right, we're going to do." They put on a display in front of the whole 7th grade.
And these are the 2 regular guys.
These are the 2 gym teachers.
I think they were traveling.
They used to wear those bike short. Remember bike football when you had the pocket right here in the front, right here, where you could just touch your nuts the whole time.
Coach Sutter was the man, and I'm full respect, Coach Sutter. No, nothing bad about Coach Sutter.
Yeah, we had Coach John McGee.
He was fired up, always fired up.
He was a good guy.
How you doing, JJ? All right, let's get him.
So anyway, they put this display on in front of the whole 7th grade, and I had to wrestle this kid. His name's Nick Lee. He's a Baltimore County cop now, and he's very by the book, dude. But he was a good-looking kid. He was athletic, like all the girls. He was a good-looking kid.
Figure into your wrestling?
Because I was the clear underdog by looks and everything. And I remember I will never forget this. We locked up, and he picked me up. 1 foot, went for a single leg, and ran me across the mat. I picked him up and did the same thing, dropped him on his ass, and pinned him in front of the whole 7th grade. I was like, there's your motherfucking Nick Lee right there, everybody. I was severe underdog.
So he was like the hero of the school.
And I pinned his ass.
Was it luck?
Huh?
Was it luck?
No, I was good. I was strong for my. See, I have a. I don't know if you know this about me.
Why were you such an underdog? If you were
because he was bigger. He was more, and he was a popular. You know, all the girls and guys wanted him to see. It was the popularity was what made me the underdog. But I have a twin brother. I have a fraternal twin brother.
You do?
Yeah, I don't know. You don't know that about me, but we look nothing alike. We're a science experiment. My mother took fertility pills, and 2 of us showed up. But so my whole life, I've always
my twin brother Lee Fong. He's actually Cantonese.
Is actually Teddy Ko.
Teddy Ko. Your brother's name is Teddy?
No, it's Derek.
Derek. But, that's just bad.
But it is. But so my whole life I've had someone my age that I could constantly compete with for anything, video games, sports, whatever. So we would beat the shit out of each other. I mean, I would put him in the fridge and slam the door on his fucking ribs. Like, we would go at it. Yeah, we would go at it. So I had
like the salad dressing and shit fall off the door.
Everything, ketchup coming down on him. We would fuck each other. I remember one time I DDT'd him. Remember DDT? Yeah, I got him in a good DDT. And his head, I heard it hit the concrete through the carpet, man, and he had a knot. He's like, I don't feel good. I was like, I got that ass. We used to bulldog each other. Remember those, the British bulldogs?
Yeah,
the face down one. We used to do all that
shit. Used to go to my grandfather's house in the Jersey Shore, and on his front yard, we used to actually pile drive each other, like take turns pile driving each other. Yeah. And we weren't professional wrestlers that knew it was fake.
Right.
We were going to go see who could cripple the guy.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I could put your neck into your fucking shoulders.
And we didn't do it like with the head resting on the lap. Like the guy's head was through your legs, and you lift him up with his feet up.
And he's letting you.
And you just drop his head on. And in hindsight, it's like, why didn't the neighbor go, knock it off? Yeah. Like if you got that mad at my wiffle ball going in your yard, you should have been more mad that there's a crippling going on outside 80 Ronald Avenue in Bayville, New Jersey.
He's probably like, cripple that little motherfucker, so he stopped playing wiffle ball in my yard.
Yeah, cripple him.
We, my brother and I,
were you good when you wrestled? Did you love it?
I wasn't a state champion or anything like that, but I was good, and I liked it. But when you first, whether it's your first fight ever, or your first match, there's an adrenaline build. Like, this person's trying to kick my ass. Well, I was over that that fear because every day my brother and I were beating. Like, you would walk around a corner and he would just tackle me, and we'd just start going at it.
I wish I had that.
Yeah, I loved it. It was, we're 4 minutes apart. He's 4 minutes older.
Who was born first?
He was. I always say I'm older. I tell him I was conceived first, but he was just delivered first. So
it's nice anytime brothers can work mom having sex somehow into the conversation.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was conceived first.
I was conceived first. I was the first egg. I just got comfortable in there and kicked him out first.
It's giving me the heat.
He was an asshole, baby. Breech, baby.
I was breech. I was born ass first.
That makes
that was
explains everything.
My introduction to the world was kiss my ass.
Ask me where I'm first. Yeah. Where are you from, man?
Dunbar. Kiss my ass.
Dundalk.
No, I said Dunbar.
Oh, you wanted Dunbar. Okay.
I remember my first match was against Harrison, New Jersey, and I was 105. And I wasn't, for some reason, I wasn't nervous at all.
Is this ninth grade?
Yeah,
this
my
high
first
school?
Official match. And maybe I was just dumb. I don't know. Obviously, I was dumb. But the kid in front of me, Rob Rondi, it was all Guidos in my school.
I love real names. Real names are my favorite.
Is the Jersey Shore. When you watch the Jersey Shore and you go, that's not a fair representation of Italians. Fuck you. Go to Verona High School and look at the Venezias, the Villanis, the Barones, the Rondis. They were devastating. They have mousse in the back of their hair. Never trust a guy that mousses the back of his head. You see it every day, too. You'll be in line at 7-Eleven and go, well, who fucking mousses the back of their head? Like, what? Sounds like a Carlin bit that he never got to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When he goes, guys with visors, no one's that interested in the top of your fucking head. So Rob Rondi went out first and he lost. And I go out first at 105. And I don't remember the last name, but I remember the first name of the kid was Rodney. And the only reason I remember it is because everyone made fun of the fact that I beat Rodney. But they busted my balls like they've known about this kid for years. Like he was a legend of how bad he was. Yeah. And I went out and it was like a minute 25. I pinned this kid, my first match. Newark Star Ledger newspaper, sports page. Mohr Notch's first varsity win in Verona history. It was a wrestling club my whole life, like for 10 years. And when I was a freshman, it was the first year they had like a varsity team.
Oh, so your first match happened to be the first match of also this.
The guy before me was first, but he was a fish.
Oh, he lost.
He got pinned.
Wait, fish.
No, and I was second, and I went first at 105, and I pinned. So I notched the first win and the first pin in Verona Hillbilly history. And then I remember Pete Bush and this other kid, John McCormick, were like, yeah, nice article. He beat Rodney. But they said that shit like, I remember him from last year when he blew everybody at weigh-in. Like, I got and I was like, I was super cocky.
You're like 14. People are talking shit about you.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
It never ends, does it?
People are like, why are you so aggressive? I'm like, you grow up where we grew up. I don't know what fucking private schools everybody went to that when I make fun of people at a restaurant, they're like, hey, you're a little harsh on those guys. Well, that's how I got it. That's all I know. But then I would go to Willowbrook Mall, and when I was hitting on chicks from other schools, because nobody in my school would touch me with a 10-foot pole because I was an asshole, I'd be like, yeah, I wrestled for Verona. And they're like, oh, yeah, my boyfriend wrestles. I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand. I'm really good. I'm undefeated. Like, I'm really good.
Like my boyfriend Rodney.
Yeah.
My first pin, bitch.
And I didn't understand then that there's a big difference between a school and a regional school. A regional school is 4 fucking high schools folded into one football, wrestling, baseball factory where you cherry pick the best talent from 8 towns and 8 high schools. So my next 8 matches was Wayne High School. Wayne is the size of the country Luxembourg. Pequannock, Caldwell's, and then there's just wrestling schools like Union, huge school. And I lost my next 9 matches all pinned.
Next 9?
Pinned. Never made it out of the first period.
Come on, everyone. They were that good?
I think I was just that bad. And obviously, we know when I was a senior, missing weight, you obviously not taking it seriously. But then when I had to wrestle at 140, because I missed weight at 135, 142 or whatever, I won those tournaments because I wasn't seeded, because I didn't have a record at 142. So I'd be like the last seed. I'd be like the 8th seed. But I was a senior. I had a little muscle, a little flex, great legs. So that sounded pretty fruity. But I would do grapevines. You know, I was pretty good.
Yeah.
And So my first match was against the number 1 seed, and I just fucking went through them like it was crazy. So my matches got easier as the days went on, because ideally you want 1 to wrestle 2 in your final.
Right.
I'm the 8 seed, and in the final I'm wrestling like the 6 seed. I'm having like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Yeah,
I don't know, because it was like hours between matches because you got to wait for the whole team of 4 other schools to wrestle. So I'm in the locker room having like peanut butter. Literally, I remember having at Pingree, which was a private school. I remember having a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and like apples and just eating, and everybody around me jumping rope and spitting into cups, and I'm like,
oh. It's, I love the sport. I really do love the sport, but I really feel like it's so bad for you to cut
I don't
that.
think so.
Like
I
at
think
that
it's the
age,
best
you
thing
really,
no.
no.
No,